Not every tear in the fabric of the universe announces itself with monsters and explosions. Sometimes it starts quietly, in a back alley behind a coffee shop, with a shivering dog and a girl who's running late for her shift. That's where Amara first found him. He was curled up beside a tipped-over bin, the rain dripping from a rusted fire escape onto his matted fur. He was filthy, but the collar around his neck was impossibly clean dark leather, a polished silver tag, and golden runes that seemed to pulse softly with every flash of lightning. The night she found him, the sky itself tore open. The same invisible wave that woke the monster under the motorway washed over the city, passing through brick, bone, and metal. The dog's collar flared, the runes burning bright, as if someone was carving luck directly into the heart of reality. Amara reached out, half expecting a bite. Instead, the dog licked her hand, his tail thumping weakly against the wet ground. At that exact moment, a delivery truck skidded on the wet road, heading straight for the alley. Every possible bad outcome was lined up and ready to happen. And then, luck snapped its fingers. The truck's tire hit a perfectly placed pothole, bouncing it just enough to miss the alley by inches. A stack of plastic crates fell, knocking open the back door to the coffee shop and letting warm light spill out. A stray 20-pound note blew from somewhere and landed right at Amara's feet. She didn't know it yet, but the universe had just made its first move around the dog she would name Lucky. Days passed. Lucky settled into her small flat, sleeping at the foot of her bed and patting after her on walks. He always wore the strange collar she could never quite unbuckle. Whenever they crossed the road, traffic seemed to slow at just the right moment. When rent was due, a surprise shift would always open up. Whenever something could go terribly wrong, it just didn't. But tonight, though, the fracture in reality is pushing harder. Amara and Lucky are walking through the city center. Streetlights hum, shops are closing. On a news screen in a shop window, grainy footage replays a minor motorway incident. A flash of golden light, a blur of something huge and black moving under the road. Lucky glances at it, ears twitching, as if he recognizes the feeling of the world bending. They step into a small bank so Amara can deposit her tips. The lobby is quiet. One bored cashier, an elderly man filling out a form, and Amara in line. And then there's Brick, standing near the door, his hand resting on the gun tucked under his jacket, just waiting for the right moment. The fracture energy that washed over the city lingers in his bones, too. It doesn't give him powers. It gives him the worst kind of confidence. Brick pulls a mask over his face, draws the gun, and shouts for everyone to get on the floor. The cashier freezes. The old man drops his pen. Amara's heart slams against her ribs as she instinctively reaches for Lucky's collar. The runes ignite. A lot of things try to happen at once. Brick pulls the trigger to scare them. The bullet should hit the ceiling. But Lucky lets out a sharp, sudden sneeze, yanking Amara's hand sideways. Her tote bag swings into a wet floor sign, sending it sliding under Brick's boot just as he steps forward. He slips. The shot goes wide, shattering the fire alarm glass. Sprinklers explode, drenching everyone. The tiled floor becomes a slick death trap, but Lucky moves as if every single paw step was pre-planned. He darts between legs, leaps off a fallen chair, and slams his small body right into Brick's knee. Normally, this wouldn't do much, but Lucky is wearing a collar enchanted with a ridiculous amount of bonus damage and strength. The impact feels like being hit by a battering ram. Brick's leg buckles. He crashes into the counter, and his gun skitters across the floor. It should have slid back toward him. Instead, it spins, hits the dropped pen, jumps a groove in the tiles, and ends up perfectly out of reach, right under the cashier's trembling hand. Outside, A passing patrol car just happens to be stopped at the red light facing the bank when the alarm goes off. The officers were never supposed to be on this route. They'd swapped at the last second for a coffee run. Lucky barks once, sharp and commanding, planting himself between Breck and everyone else. The robber grabs a metal signpost and swings it in desperation. The blow lands squarely on Lucky's side. It should break ribs. Instead, the sign snaps in half. The enchantments on Lucky's collar shrug off the impact like it was nothing. He steps forward, tail low, his eyes blazing with something far older than fear. Breck backs away, slipping again on the wet floor, just as police burst through the doors to finish what Luck already started. A few minutes later, while statements are being taken, Amara finally sees the pattern she's been ignoring. Too many near misses. Too many impossible coincidences. Too many times Lucky was just standing in the one place that changed everything. Out in the rain, Lucky lifts his head, sniffing the air. Somewhere, far beyond the city, he can almost sense the distant echo of a molten road in a glowing night. The multiverse is shifting, and he is one of its anchors of fortune. Tonight, Lucky was just a hero in a small bank. But soon, his impossible luck will draw the attention of beings who shape worlds. To see who notices the luckiest dog in the universe first, join us for episode 3, The Watchers of Chance. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more.